Did you feel communication can be improved? Let's try to first understand what is communication, and let's go into effective communication basis. This video will be short, but you will have others that will help you also to go better in the communication. But this is just the basis. What is communication? Communication is something that happens between the party that is the sender and the receiver. This is the two party. If you don't have these two parties, you don't have communication. Which means if somebody is just sending a message and nobody is listening it, even the sender think he is in communication, there is no communication. You need to have at least these two parties to be able to speak about communication. Then you have how you communicate. It can be online, it can be written, it can be oral, it can be done by multiple ways. It can be by email, by Teams, by text, by writing a letter, SMS. There is a lot of way of communicating. And when you send this information, you need also to have a message in it. And the message is actually what the sender is writing, speaking, doing to send to the channel that will need to be received by the receiver. And I didn't put exactly the same icon between what the sender sent and what the receiver sent, because you have to understand that in communication, you may send a message, but according to the background of the receiver, it may be interpreted differently than what the sender sent. And we see this very effectively in coupled communication when somebody sends something and they didn't understood exactly the same way the other told. Now let's go to what are the disruptors to communication. And there is a lot. I just highlight some of them, the most important for me perhaps, but the most relevant probably for your improvement of communication. You have the external source like environment, noise, anything that disturbs the communication itself. That is really hurting the channel itself, usually. It's something that makes noise on the channel. The sender sends the message, the receiver receives the message, but it is not well interpreted because of the channel issues. The second point is the sound quality, and I will tell sound quality can be the accent, for example, but it can be also how you write the language, how you make exactly the wording of the word. It is a disruptor to the communication itself. If the person sender send a message that is not understood by the receiver, you can understand that you will have bigger area of assumption and communication will not be as effective as it could be. Imagine now that you have a person that is technical that speaks to an executive, and you may understand very quickly that executive to executive, they may have the same type of language because they communicate always the same. But a person that is technical may go deeper in details. He may go more in some technical language that may not be understood very well by the receiver that is an executive. And these go in both ways. You have a lot of executives that speak very executive way with return on investment, KPO, CAPEX, OPEX, all these terms that are used every day in their language as executive, but maybe not understood by a technical person that is on the field or in operation. You need to understand that in communication, it is not about the sender sending a message. It's really about who is receiving the message and adapt your language to this person. And you have, after, all the elements that are around it, that is body language, pillar word. I try to improve my French way of speaking, but I still have the at some end of the sentence. And it is something that is very disturbing for some people to just have this sound. And after, how you support. Is your support the best way? I do a presentation in PowerPoint. Some people may prefer a different way of communicating. I try to adapt to what I think will be the best way of communicating with you. Now, as I told you, communication is not about you. It's about them. And yes, about them. That means you need to understand what is their language, what message they expect from you, which way, which channel they expect the language. If you have a big announcement, is it SMS the best way of communicating? Or is it a mail? Or making a speech in front of the people? How the message is received, telling exactly the same way, according to the channel, can be perceived very differently from your audience. And it is what I want you to retain from this training, really. Understand that communication is not about you. It's understanding your audience and adjusting your communication to them. If you want to communicate, the goal is to pass a message. And to pass this message is really focusing on them and not on you and what you want them to hear, but really what they expect you to hear from you. I hope this video was very useful for you. Please let me know if you have any specific topics that you would like me to speak about, and I will be happy to treat them. Thank you very much. Have a great day.